All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're basically drawing up a blueprint for success. We're going to dive into the art and the science behind setting goals that you and your organization can actually, achieve. So, why are most business goals pretty much doomed to fail? I mean, it sounds so simple, right? Set a goal, go for it. But think about it. How often do those big goals just kind of fizzle out? The truth is, in a lot of organizations, goal setting is a total trap. We set way too many, they have nothing to do with the bigger picture, or worse, they're just flat out ignored. Let's dig into why that happens and, way more importantly, how to fix it. And this quote from Stanford's Kathleen Eisenhart just nails it. Too many goals and objectives are paralyzing. Too few, confusing. It really gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? Pile on too many goals and everyone's just frozen. They don't know where to start. But have too few and the whole team is just lost without a map. It's a real balancing act, and getting that balance right is absolutely the first step. Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with the common traps, then build a solid foundation with 8 key rules. After that, we'll check out some of the big frameworks companies use, see how they can be used for good, and finally, bring it all home with a tool you can use for your own goals. All right, let's dive in. First things first, before we can build anything, we've got to understand our materials, right? And when it comes to goal setting, that means getting super clear on the difference between a goal and an objective. And trust me, they are not the same thing. So think of it like this. A goal, that's the big what. It's your broad vision, the destination on the map. An objective, on the other hand, is the how. It's the precise, time-based, measurable, turn-by-turn directions to get there. The analogy here is perfect. A goal is the umbrella canopy, but the objectives are the spokes that hold it up. Without those spokes, that umbrella is pretty much useless in a downpour. And this comparison just makes it crystal clear. On one side, you've got a vague goal, improve customer satisfaction. Okay, great, but what does that even mean? How do you know when you've done it? Now look at the other side, a powerful objective. Increase our net promoter score by 10 points in Q3. Boom. That's a plan. You've got a specific target, a clear metric, and a deadline. It literally transforms a wish into an actual project. All right, now that we have our definition straight, it's time to lay that solid foundation. Let's get into 8 essential rules for creating goals that actually work. Rule number 1 is super simple. Less is more. Seriously, forget those crazy long laundry lists of priorities. To keep things clear and avoid that paralysis we talked about, some great research from Stanford suggests you should focus on just 2 to 7 key goals. That's it. That's the sweet spot. Next up, you can't just look in the rearview mirror. Think about it. When you're driving a car, you glance in the mirror to see where you've been, right? Those are your lagging indicators, things like last quarter's revenue. But you spend most of your time looking through the windshield at what's coming up. Those are your leading indicators, things like customer satisfaction surveys that actually predict future performance. A really strong system has to use both. Okay, and these next few rules are what really hold the whole structure together. You've got to tie your measures to the actual drivers of success, not just vanity metrics. Goals need to cascade down from the top so everyone knows how their work fits into the big picture. You absolutely have to involve your key stakeholders, and your goals have to be adaptable and based on real facts, not just a gut feeling. You do all this, and you turn a simple list of goals into a living, breathing system. So with those rules as our foundation, let's move on to the actual blueprints that organizations use to manage all of this. It's really interesting to see how the thinking on this has evolved over time. This whole journey really kicks off way back in 1954. The legendary management thinker Peter Drucker introduces this idea called management by objectives, or MBO. But fast forward to 1992, and it was clear a more complete, more strategic approach was needed. And that's when the balanced scorecard came onto the scene. And this table really shows you the tale of 2 frameworks. MBO was all about achieving specific, negotiated objectives, and it was good at that. The big problem, though, was that those objectives were often totally disconnected from the company's overall strategy. The balanced scorecard was designed to fix that exact flaw. Its whole purpose is to translate the big picture vision and strategy into concrete action, making sure everyone is rowing in the same direction. So instead of just looking at the money, the balanced scorecard gives you this comprehensive health check of the entire organization. It looks at everything from 4 interconnected perspectives. First, financial. How do we look to our shareholders? Then, customer. How do our customers see us? Next, internal processes. What stuff do we have to be amazing at? And finally, learning and growth. How can we keep getting better? It's all about balancing that final outcome with the things that actually drive it. And here's the really brilliant part. It's all about the cause and effect chain. It shows you how these four areas are linked. So you start with employee training, that's learning and growth. That leads directly to better processes, which in turn leads to happier customers. And you know what that leads to? Yep, higher profits. The scorecard helps you literally map and measure how investing in your team can directly lead to a stronger bottom line. Now, these powerful frameworks aren't just for chasing profits. They're also perfect for managing one of the most important aspects of modern business, corporate social responsibility, or CSR. So what is CSR? Well, at its heart, it's a business approach that's all about creating long-term value by thinking about economic, environmental, and social developments. It's about managing your business to produce an overall positive effect on society. This has led to this really cool idea of the triple bottom line, measuring not just profit, but people and planet too. And look, this isn't just some feel-good PR stunt. A huge survey from KPMG found something fascinating. The number one driver for companies reporting on CSR is now ethical considerations. That's right, it's considered more important than even the direct economic benefits. There's this growing realization that doing the right thing is also the smart thing for business. Okay, so we've looked at the big corporate blueprints. Now, let's bring it all the way back to you. Let's talk about a practical toolkit you can use to build your very own architecture of achievement. And that tool is the SMART framework. I'm sure you've probably heard of it. It's a total classic for a reason. It's basically a simple checklist that transforms those vague intentions into clear, actionable objectives. So let's quickly break down what each of those letters means. Okay, let's take a common but pretty ineffective personal goal. Get in shape. Come on, we've all said it, right? It's a great intention, a great goal, but it is not an objective. Why? Because it's not specific, there's no way to measure it, and there's no timeline. It's basically a recipe for giving up in February. But now, watch what happens when we make that same goal SMART. Get in shape becomes this concrete project. It's specific. Hike to the summit of a 14,000-foot mountain. It's measurable. Join a health club and work out 45 minutes 3 times a week. It's attainable. You'll develop a training plan. It's realistic. Other people like you have done it. And it's timely. You're going to do it 6 months from now. See the difference? Now that is a goal you can actually hit. So in the end, your goals write the story of your future. What story are you going to tell? Because that's the real takeaway here. Goal setting isn't just some boring management task. It's the process of designing your own future. Use these tools, use these blueprints, and go build something absolutely incredible.